Okay, but what is the strategy? What's up, Philippines? Welcome back to another reaction video with Nelly. I am reacting today to a video that is educational. I am very curious to see where the future of the Philippines goes. I have experienced some drastic changes while living in the Philippines for 3 years, and I cannot wait to see where it's headed to. I think the future is very bright for this country, and today I am reacting to the Philippines' new strategy explained. So today we're going to learn something new with an educational video, shall we? And here we go.
On June 30th, 2022, the Philippines announced its once again transition of presidential incumbency. President Rodrigo Duterte would finally come out and announce his retirement from office, and the newly emergence of now President Bongbong Marcos would take his job as the President of the Philippines. This change meant that the new president would now need to outline his agenda for the coming 6 years while he is in office and what the Philippines would become after his tenure. Ferdinand Romualdez Marcos Jr., as he is officially by birth known, has been the light of much coverage. This is because of the fact that the president who preceded him was known for his ambitiousness. Former President Duterte initiated hundreds of billions of dollars worth of infrastructure projects to cultivate and change the very society of the Philippines.
Okay, just a quick word. I am trying not to get involved too much in politics in general. Not just in the Philippines, also in Austria, Bosnia, where I'm from, the US, where a lot of my friends are from. It can get very toxic. But I'm going to look at this in a very objective way.
Is it very much the same for President Marcos? Will we see the new leader of the Philippines expand the country's economy to boundless destinations? Well, let us take a look at what his goals are and what he has done so far in the months after he received the presidential seat. President Marcos is a prominent man. He has been in politics since 1980, starting off as a vice governor for his hometown provincial region. With decades-long education in the industry, along with his father, who was often debated for his notorious dictatorship, has in many ways helped shape his leadership and public governance style. Therefore, we can thoroughly expect many waves of changes as he governs the country. Prior to his inauguration in office, President Marcos pledged to do many things and would form the strategy of his administration today. The most important factor in his strategy, as we can see, was going to continue then President Duterte's Build program. This was the most crucial factor for the Philippines. According to the World Economic Forums, the Philippines is a lagging nation when it comes to infrastructure developments. The country is ranked far below most emerging markets. To tackle this issue, Build was initiated. The same report has indicated that with these infrastructural improvements, the Philippines will be able to reduce its poverty rates faster and improve the country's viability in becoming an upper middle income country.
Yes, this is something that I read a lot about, that the average income will increase by all of these infrastructure projects, of course. So it will have a huge effect on the Philippines, which is good.
The next pledge of President Marcos was to make the Philippines a self-sufficient country when it comes to food.
Interesting.
Today, the Philippines imports a lot of agriculture-based products from Southeast Asia. It buys rice from Vietnam to Thailand, fruits from China, and wheat from the United States. Much of this has to do with the agricultural output that has not kept pace with the country's enormous and growing population. But that is not to say that it does not have an agriculture sector. Its supply just did not match its demand. The country's agriculture industry produces a lot of food and also stands among the largest exporters of different kinds. However, despite its tremendous output, there just is not enough to feed its entire 110 million population. To fix these, President Marcos wants to increase the entire agriculture industry. In doing so, he wishes to fix the stability of the country by not just eating food that is produced locally, but also driving up these products for export purposes. What we have seen thus far can be easily cited in the upcoming 2023 annual Philippine budget. The proposed budget for 2023 is reported to be over 5.2 trillion pesos, or 94 billion US dollars, higher than 2022 at only 5.04 trillion pesos, or 87 billion dollars. Amongst the biggest changes in the budget is actually within the agriculture spending. The Philippines will spend 184 billion pesos, or $3.2 billion in 2023, more than last year's figure, which was 132 billion pesos. As the country tries to implement food security programs known as the National Rice Program, the farm-to-market roads, and the irrigation service.
Okay, quick break. I know the thing about rice. It's very extreme to, have all of these rice fields and then you're importing rice, but I don't have that much insight into the details, like how much is there to feed the whole country, because rice is such a essential part of everyday food for Filipinos. Farm to market roads, I don't know specifics, but I personally always try to support markets in the Philippines every time I am, going out on the weekend to go do my grocery shopping. I try to go to markets. Very curious to see how they're going to tackle this problem.
This agriculture agenda is arguably the most important factor of President Marcos's new strategy. The president is doing this by pushing out his agenda of increasing the industry's budget, but also, as he approached it, by assigning himself as the Secretary of Agriculture, which may suggest how his agenda is to truly revolutionize the entire agriculture industry. Moving on, the third most important agenda of his strategy is developing the country's energy sector. President Marcos has announced that he wants to develop the country's renewable energy, such as wind, solar, and geothermal. But he also insisted on oil and natural gas-fired power plants, and even cited that the need for nuclear power energy is going to be crucial in drafting the entire plan. Fourth, President Marcos has also stated that he wants to develop the country's overall digital infrastructure. This, as he would like to say, is the most important factor in the entirety of his strategy. Digital improvements are now becoming crucial in almost anything. If done right, digital infrastructures will benefit the entire agriculture program, it will benefit the education of Filipinos, it will make the government's work faster and better, and the list goes on. Digital infrastructures, unfortunately, are still missing within the Philippines, but if this is made in the country, we may expect
Okay, this is something that might have improved during the pandemic as well. So even Elon Musk saying that he wants to put up satellite internet in the Philippines has already signed apparently or got approved. So I'm here for that. Education, work, everything got more digital, which is a huge improvement.
A huge benefit. As reported by the Department of Information and Communications Technology, the digital economy is expected to generate over 5 trillion pesos, or 87 billion US dollars by 2030. Finally, President Marcos has cited that he wants the Philippines to become Asia's next logistics hub. Doing so will mean that the government will be spending a lot of money constructing and improving its current airports and seaports. What this may do is obviously limitless. The Philippines is geographically situated in the heart of Southeast Asia and East Asia. These two regions are known for their enormous population, and if the president would be able to transform the country into becoming a logistics hub, its benefits will most likely outweigh any economic driver in the country. However, there are a lot of challenges in doing this, as the country is also faced with many natural disasters and competitiveness in the region. These agendas and strategies, as we would like to call them, do not obviously mean that they will all happen. And also, these are just some of the points that we have highlighted from his pledges. There are a lot of things that the president wants to change, and the chances of a few of these not happening are more than likely, as politicians around the world are often known for making a lot of pledges but fail to act on them. So far, however, throughout his tenure as a now-sitting president, he has indeed done most of these. He has stationed his agriculture strategy to be aligned in helping food stability and price fluctuations. He has also continued his predecessor's infrastructure program, renaming it to what we now call Build Better More. The president has also made his foreign policy to be independent, known as friend to all,
Okay.
enemy to none. Amongst his initial executive orders, he has also amended and reorganized the government itself. The president has abolished many offices, and some of which had been renamed. As cited by analysts, this was a grand endeavor since it has helped push for more efficiency, abolishing unnecessary offices that were rather redundant in nature. Cost savings are, as many
Yes.
know, crucial in running a corporation and also a country. These strategies are grand indeed. The Philippines has continuously been receiving many programs like these. We can attribute it to the many presidents of the Philippines in the past. Some of them have achieved marvelous and timeless economic programs. Some, however, did not and did the exact opposite. Whatever the case, this new strategy of the Philippines will more than likely
Interesting.
play
Yeah, it
a
is.
huge role in deciding the future of the country within the coming 6 or even more years. What the government does today is very important. Its focus on agriculture and less on other programs will mean that the country may have more stability in food, but will impact and reduce other agencies, since the budget of the country and the time spent by the leaders are limited. So it is very necessary on what the government decides to do. Furthermore, as the Philippines is now expected to end by 2022 with around $400 to $450 billion worth of nominal gross domestic product, it would suggest that the burden of managing the economy will become tougher. As it continuously grows, so does the government's responsibility. And by 2030, it is expected that the country will have a gross domestic
$1
product
trillion?
of over $1
Wow.
trillion. And by that year, a new president will take shape, and the now president's tenure will end. Will his policy help the country reach this $1 trillion mark, or will he experience a rocky economy going forward? Most importantly is the question, will his agriculture agenda or agriculture strategy
Let me know in the comments
actually
down below
help
what
the
you
Philippines
think.
reach its target of becoming a $1 trillion economy? Or will this shift
Keep it
hamper
respectful,
such
though.
growth? After all, as we did note earlier, if the leaders are going to focus on one industry, it will mean that the other industries will have less budget, less government intervention, and so on. Was prioritizing agriculture more important than manufacturing or the service industry? A lot of questions and occurrences can happen, and it does not entirely mean that they will be disregarded. What matters is how much time and importance the government places on them. Either way, only time will truly tell what would happen to the Philippines. Anyway, what are your thoughts about the Philippines' new strategy? Let us know down below. Thanks for watching.
Interesting video. Very good insights. Very good summary as well, because as I said, I'm not very up to date with everything that is going on in politics. I personally think reading about it every day can be a little bit toxic, so I'm keeping my safe distance. But I do have, of course, some very loyal followers who send me updates on a daily basis and just inform me about the most important changes in the country. Shout out to you guys, you know who I'm talking about. But yeah, this was a very good overview for me to understand where the Philippines is headed, and just, it's a very good understanding of what's going on. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments down below what you think about these changes. As I said, please keep it very respectful. I'm trying to be very objective. I'm not taking any sides whatsoever. I'm neutral. I'm Libra. And if you're new to this channel, of course, subscribe, give me a thumbs up, hit the notification bell for the next video here on What's Up Philippines. I'll see you soon. Mwah.